In this video, I'm showing you how to do mitered corners. Now there are several ways to do that, but here I'm only sharing the one that works quite well for me, and let's get right into it. First, lay your fabric wrong side facing up. My plan is to fold half an inch all around the fabric first and then another half an inch over it. Take one of the corners and mark 1 inch away from the both sides. Using those two marked points as the folding ends, fold the pointy end towards the fabric. Give it a little press. Now refold this triangular part like this and make sure your fold is even. Give it a little press. Let's move to the next corner. Mark 1 inch away from the corner in both ways. Now using those marked points as the folding ends, fold the pointy end towards the fabric. Give it a little press. Fold this part over and give it a little press again to keep the crease. Follow the same steps for the remaining two corners as well. As I told you earlier, my plan is to fold half an inch all around the fabric first and then another half an inch over it. This is the reason why we mark 1 inch from all the corners. Make your measurements according to your preference. This might not be the perfect way to do the mitered corners, but this one works well for me and I think it's much easier than most of the methods. Once you are done with all the corners, let's move to fold the sides. Start one side at a time. Fold the side just to touch the two already folded corners. Press it from one end to the other to keep the crease. Then fold it over again just to touch the two folded corners and give it a good press from one end to the other. You can use a couple of pins to hold the fold. Now let's move to the next side. Fold the side just to touch the two folded corners and press the fold from one end to the other. Then refold it in a way to touch the two folded corners at both sides and give it a good press. As you can see, we have a mitered corner now. Follow the same steps for the remaining two sides. The size of the fabric I'm using here is considerably large, and it won't take much time if you are using this method for a smaller project like making a serviette. This one is for a half apron. As we are folding the third side of the fabric, you can see here we have our second mitered corner. Keep pressing and we have one more side to go. At this point, we have all 4 mitered corners set. We can now sew along the 4 sides to complete all 4 mitered corners. I'm going to start at one of the side end points and sew along the way. Sew straight and do a little back stitch at the beginning as we always do. Keep the stitches closer to the folded end, and I would say about 1/8 inch or lesser seam allowance from the folded end. When you reach the corners, stop and raise the foot. Then pivot while the needle is down. Lower the foot and you can start to sew again. As you can see here, one of the mitered corner is properly secure now. Do the same with all the other corners. Remove the pins as you go and keep sewing till you reach the starting point. Do a little back stitch at the end and you can then trim the threads. Let me show you all the mitered corners. I think everything looks fine. Let me know your preferred method of doing mitered corners and hope this method will also help you in some way. Thank you for watching and I'll join you in the next one.